If we examine Star Wars The Last Jedi, I think it's pretty safe to say that one of the most unexpected pieces in the film was Kylo Ren killing Supreme Leader Snoke off so early on in the sequel trilogy. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, going into Episode 9, we do know that J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio have a lot of tricks up their sleeves that they are going to reveal to the fans once this movie drops on December 19th of this year. And we do know that they're going to be bringing in a lot of revelations for the characters of Anakin, Luke, Rey, Kylo, etc. A lot of things really are going to happen in this film that will actually connect to not just the originals, but also the prequel trilogy itself. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with a major hint and/or indicator of Snoke being Darth Plagueis in Episode 9. Specifically, a description of Supreme Leader Snoke sitting on his throne, inside of a new throne room with no red curtains. He wears a black robe and appears to have no injuries, all of which indicate that this is indeed a flashback sequence. Around him are 4 attendants, the one seen in The Last Jedi in the black robes with the glowing eyes. The next goes over Snoke reading a book while sitting on his throne. The print on the cover reads, "The Science of Creating Life," which in Legends was a manuscript written by Darth Plagueis explaining all of his powers and knowledge. Another goes over a wider shot showing Snoke on his throne, still reading the back, with an individual on his knees in a black cloak, kneeling before Snoke as Snoke looks down at the book. This is likely Snoke's other apprentice before Kylo Ren. Eventually, the attendants take the mysterious figure away to the elevator. So what's really intriguing to me about all of this is how it goes over a wider shot, showing Snoke on his throne, still reading the book, with an individual on his knees. Now, I believe that this was Snoke's additional apprentice apart from Kylo Ren. But what's even more intriguing is, of course, Supreme Leader Snoke reading this manuscript, this book, while he's actually sitting on his throne. The book is called The Science of Creating Life, and like I say, in Star Wars Legends, Darth Plagueis actually wrote this manuscript explaining all of his different and various powers and knowledge that he obtains. So, if we look at Supreme Leader Snoke, we do know that Andy Serkis, J.J. Abrams, and Rian Johnson, all of which know Snoke's backstory, and they are keeping it a secret in case if they ever wanted to tell more about Snoke's backstory and or Snoke's revelations in a future film or in a future Star Wars trilogy. Now, keep in mind, it could be a future film. This could very well fall directly in line here with Episode 9, and also could explain as to why Andy Serkis actually canceled his appearance at Keystone Comic-Con not too long ago for a major project that would involve a lot of motion capture work, which could very well be Supreme Leader Snoke returning again in Episode 9. Now, to me, this is a huge hint that Snoke is indeed going to be Darth Plagueis in Episode 9. We even heard about this months ago by the Weekly Planet, where they were talking about how Disney and Lucasfilm were toying around with the idea of Snoke being Darth Plagueis in Episode 9. Honestly, that's probably the best way to connect this movie into the prequel trilogy. We've been hearing about how JJ really does plan on connecting this movie to the prequels in order for this trilogy to feel true to the Skywalker saga and to really tie it all together. Now, what better way to do this than to give us that big reveal that Snoke is or was indeed Darth Plagueis? Now, exactly how could he be Plagueis? I know a lot of you guys are saying, well, he's not a Moon. Now, in the Star Wars canon, Darth Plagueis is described as just being Darth Plagueis. We don't really know his species as of yet in canon. In Legends, yes, he is exactly just that, a Moon. But in canon, to my knowledge, it has not been explained at all whatsoever in any of the books or the comics so far. So Disney could really do whatever they want to do if they really want to go down that path. So as far as everything else goes, he could have used essence transfer, going from one body to the other. We've seen this actually done in Dark Empire, where Palpatine is able to go from his pretty much decaying body into a fresh young clone of his own, where he appears young again. And this, like I say, this is most likely a flashback, but it could also be based within present time. So I think that not only Snoke's return as Darth Plagueis himself would only kind of like make a great excuse for Kylo Ren to have a light side story or a redemption arc, if you will, and to actually side with Rey and take on a greater evil. But this would also be able to really give Snoke some action and payoff in the sequel trilogy. Now, I know that Snoke is more around the lines of a Palpatine figure, right? He's supposed to just sit in his throne and do what he has to do and give out orders to Kylo and Hux. Sure, I get all that. But I think that with the sequels, that they really want to create some really big and shocking reveals that really truly excite the fans and really just pump us up with adrenaline in the theater seats. They really do have to do something shocking like this, and it seems as though that they are toying around with these ideas. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.